Hi everybody, Patrick here from EngineeringShot.com and ElectronicLessons.com. Just wanted to show off one of our greatest new products. This is the capacitor charger. What I've got here, what essentially you put 12 volts in, 12 to 24 volts in, and on the secondary of this transformer, non-isolated, it'll charge up to about 400 volts. Now let me just zoom out a bit so I can show you my setup. What I've got here is two 400 volt capacitors in series for 800 volts. The capacitors are 120 microfarad, but the series capacitance is 60 microfarads. So an 800 volt bank at 60 microfarads. And so I've got on pin 1, let's consider pin 1 on the right, pin 1, and the leftmost pin 4. Pin 1 is ground, DC ground. Pin 2 is 12 volts to 24 volts in. Pin 3 is DC ground for the output for the capacitors, and pin 4 is 400 volts DC. You have to be very careful because this is when you're talking about voltages that high, you can really hurt yourself. So please don't buy this unless you know what you're doing. Now, what you would use this for ideally is a coil gun. Coil guns, you charge up large capacitor banks, and you essentially make an electromagnet that propels an object, well, a metal object. So this module is very small. It's roughly off the top of my head about 10 centimeters long, 5 centimeters wide. Maybe that's a bit off, but when I list this, I'll have the dimensions. Anyway, so I've got my multimeter connected to my capacitor bank, which is at 0 volts. What I'm going to do is I'm going to charge it up. You'll see how fast it charges, and then I'm going to show you me discharging them just to see how much power is being charged into these capacitors. So let's charge it up. What I'll do is I'll turn on the power. 455 volts. How long did that take? Not freaking long. Now what I'll do is I will discharge the capacitors. Now be careful if you buy this. Oh, so cool. So now the voltage is back down to roughly 0. Let's charge it up again. Look at how fast that charges. The manufacturer says it's rated for up to about 20 watts, so I've never seen capacitors charge that quickly with a device like this. Instant pop. So that's me discharging those capacitors really fast. Not much more to say. Pin 1 and pin 3 are ground. It's not, the transformer is the whole device is non-isolated, so pin 1 and pin 3 are connected. Pin 2 is 12 volts, 24 volts in, and pin 4 is your dangerous 450 volt pin. When you're working with this stuff, don't mess around. If you don't know what you're doing, don't buy it. If you don't have someone who knows about electronics or high voltage to work with you, don't touch it. This is for coil guns. Anyway, thank you for watching. I hope you enjoyed this demonstration.